Hi, Charisse with Caliber Real Estate Group here with the market report on July 13th. Lots of things happening, so I just wanted to reach out. Hope everyone is staying safe and doing well. I'm sure a lot of you heard the Suze Orman report, and we're going to go over that as well as what's going on with the unemployment, job market, and stats locally for here in Orange County. So with the job market, they were projecting that just over 3 million jobs would come back in June, and the actual number was 4.8 million, which obviously is a lot better than they were projecting. So that's great. The unemployment rates have slowly been dropping since April, from 14.7 down to 11.1. Obviously, we're nowhere near where we were in March, but we are making progress. It's not to say that this is going to change with the resurgence of COVID cases, so we'll have to see how that plays out. Unemployment is much higher among people under the age of 24, so they're making up over 50% of the unemployed population of 11.1%. Now, it's still a terrible, and it's very high, and we understand that, but the only reason we bring that point up is because when you look at the average age of a home buyer, they're much older than the 24. So when people are asking you, well, unemployment rate is so high, how is that not affecting the real estate market? Well, because that huge chunk of people who are unemployed are not the typical age of the home buyer, which I believe the average age last year was about 31. So again, not to discount the people who are in that over 31, and not to discount anyone who's unemployed, but just want to bring up, because we get that question a lot, is why is the housing market still doing so well when there's so many people unemployed? And that's why. Okay, so here's the Suze Orman post that we've been getting a ton of questions about. She's saying that she would absolutely wait until after the election to buy a home. Many people have missed their mortgage payments, and the time of federal unemployment is scheduled to stop on July 31st, puts a difficult financial position, especially if they're still out of work. So here is the first part of the people being in forbearance. So if a homeowner chose to accept the forbearance from their lender, and the soonest the lender can foreclose on them is August 31st. If they are still in a financial hardship, they can extend that another 180 days. So we're not going to see a wave of foreclosures in September, October, November. We're just not. And here's the other reason why. There's Black Knight also came out with a number just last week saying that 2/3 of the people who are actually in forbearance are still making their payments. So these numbers here are based off of 1/3 of the total people who are in forbearance, saying that they have at least 20% equity. So there's 77% of the people who are in forbearance have at least 20% equity. So when that time period, their 180 or 360 days is up, those people are not walking away from their homes. They're going to go and list their house if they are still not able to make their mortgage payments. They'll list their house, they'll sell, they'll walk away with a profit. And that's really why we're not going to, the experts are saying that they don't foresee a huge wave of foreclosures. Are we going to see a few here and there? Yeah, absolutely we will, but it's not going to be like 2006, 7, 8, where everything was a foreclosure. The other reason is demand. So we see that in July, we've had an uptick in listings, which is good, but the total number of listings is going down. How is that? Well, that's because as soon as a listing comes on market, it's being taken, multiple offers. So we still do not have enough listings to keep up with the demand of the buyers right now. This one is talking about the housing market recovery index, taking into account the 4 different components of demand, supply, price, and time on market. And as you can see, we're already back we're about 10 points shy, just under 10 points shy of where we were before this started in February. So the housing market is already recovering. I guess the biggest point is you need to understand that Suze Orman is a stock genius. Her expertise does not lie in the real estate market. So when you hear people saying there's going to be a wave of foreclosures coming, you shouldn't buy right now. Obviously, everybody's situation is different, and you should talk to somebody, an expert in their field, where you're not talking to a stock person, you're not talking to your financial advisor about what the real estate market is going to do. Talk to an agent who is seasoned in your area, and see if it's a good situation for you, because it may not be a good time to buy for everyone, but for the most people it is. Okay, so here's local stats. This is back in 2008 when we had the crash, or the beginning of the crash, I guess. So in all the different cities I have, this is Santa Ana. The monthly inventory was 29.4. The city of, or this was Anaheim, was at 20.6. Orange was at 12, and Tustin was at 12.6. So now these are 2008 numbers. And again, why we don't think that it's going to be the same foreclosure wave that we had back in 2008 is because we don't have any inventory. So if you look at what the inventory levels are right now, most of them are just under 3 months worth of supply, which is not a lot, especially when you couple it with the interest rates. So here are interest rates as of July 10th. You can get an FHA, a VA loan for 2.375%, which is so low right now. And these are 30-year fixed. You can get a 15-year fix for 2.25. So the low inventory coupled with the extremely low interest rates is creating a high buyer demand, which again is why the Suze Orman post is not the best place for you to get your information, I guess, if you would say. We need to make sure that who you're listening to, or they're basing their information on facts and not their feelings. So if you have any questions, we didn't cover your particular neighborhood, or you want more information on if it's a good time for you to buy, you're thinking about maybe buying something bigger because you've been working from home and you don't have enough space, or maybe you have too much space and you want to downsize, give us a call. We're here to help, and can give you specific information on your property, on if it's a good time for you to buy, whatnot. If you want a buyer's guide or seller's guide, we have those available on our website as well. Download them for free. Hope everyone is staying safe. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Thanks so much.